In 2016, I was a senior in college. I had a job I hated with a boss that would actively schedule me on days that he knew I couldn't work to force me to work on days that I didn't and couldn't work on, but because he couldn't find other people to do the job, he knew I would come in out of some sort of sense of obligation. I eventually thankfully quit that job, but I had that job. I had a very nice girlfriend who was very kind, very sweet, but she did have a strong desire to get married and have as many kids as possible, and I knew that required lots of money. I didn't have lots of money. I didn't even really have a job. I also had a class that, out of all the classes in college, I was very close to failing it. I was the final exam, I had to pass it in order to pass the class. If I passed the class, I could graduate on time. All right, so one night, got so stressed out, my pulse was racing. I had like a tightness in my chest, and my thoughts were racing around, tons of fear regarding all the things in my life racing through my head. So I did what everyone tells you not to do. I Googled my symptoms, and they said, anxiety. Okay, I don't have anxiety. I'm not some kind of, like, only crazy people have anxiety, right? Like, anxiety is like a big thing, you know? So the description matched my symptoms, so I clicked on it. Sure enough, everything seemed to match up, but there was two words that stuck out to me. It said mental disorder. Anxiety is a mental disorder. And I was like, what? I don't have a mental disorder? Because when you think of a mental disorder, you just imagine people in straitjackets, you know? And that scared me so much that I started shaking, and I had to sit down because I couldn't, my brain was rushing at such a fast rate. I was just paralyzed, and I couldn't even think straight. I was in such a state, I was just completely incapacitated. There was a guy named Judson, and he came by at midnight that night, put his arm around me, said, "It's gonna be okay, man." He didn't really know what I was going through, but he told me, "I'm gonna pray for you, and I'll be here with you until it's over." A couple minutes later, it was over, and I was able to go back to my room and fall asleep. I was too frightened to really think too hard about it, but I knew I had to go to the doctor. Went to the general doctor. She said, "It sounds like situational anxiety related to your life circumstances. You're under a lot of pressure." I said, "Well, that makes sense, but do you think I have a disorder?" And she's like, "Well, it's not my job. I'll refer you to someone else." You know, there was a psychologist that she knew. I didn't go there because I thought, hey, I'm just gonna tough it out, okay? Well, whether or not that was the right decision, the thought to tough it out is not the right answer, okay? So, I had several mini anxiety attacks after that one. That was the big one. I've never had anything like it before or ever again. But I had several mini ones after that just continued to come, and I could feel it coming on, and I didn't know how to stop it. The thoughts, all the fears, I couldn't stop it. But luckily, I knew I had to do something. So I quit my job, the job that I had at the time. It was stressing me out so much. And I moved out west with my family. Shortly thereafter, my uncle gave me a job sanding and doing general construction work, building houses in the great Pacific Northwest of Washington State in the Olympic Mountains. That work, that natural hard work, was the first step to helping me control my anxiety, to help me manage it, to tend to it. Because in my opinion, you can never completely eliminate anxiety, because anxiety is an emotion. Everyone feels it. That's the good thing to know, is everyone feels anxiety. Just some people struggle with it a lot more than others. And for me, I had to get it way down. All right, so that was the first step. The second step was that I got regrounded in my faith in God. Put my trust in Him, and that helped a lot. The third step that helped me with my anxiety, the third step was to get more sleep, because I was playing video games all night, getting 3 hours of sleep every night. And my uncle said, "You have terrible sleep hygiene. You can't expect to, feel good about yourself if you're getting 3 hours of sleep a night." And I was doing physical labor for 9 hours a day on top of this. So I tried it. Sure enough, anxiety went down a little bit. A little more manageable, right? We're on a good track. Well, the fourth thing that really helped me out with anxiety was exercise. I had really fallen off my exercise routine when I was going through all of that. And for me, I have tons of energy. And by exercising, it allowed me to relieve a lot of stress. And that is a very healthy thing, number one, but it's something that truly worked by running, by doing lots of push-ups, but really just running, getting out there in the great outdoors. The fifth thing, and a very, very, very important thing that you must do, is meditate. You must meditate, and one of the things you have to practice is something called cognitive behavioral therapy. And one of the things that it does is it teaches your brain to relax when you have a fearful thought come across your path. Because the idea is that thoughts are merely just really clouds, okay? A lot of times people like you and me, if you struggle with anxiety, we see a happy thought, we're like, oh, that's a good one right there. Like picking fruit. We have like a random thought, like some kind of wonder what this sports game score is. Okay, I don't know. You just kind of let it go. See, you let it go. It's not a big deal. When you have a fearful thought, you don't know where it came from, but you're like, oh man, I want to grab onto this. And I'm like, what is this? What does it mean about me? Does that mean why am I so afraid of this? And then you start overanalyzing and you start getting more fearful. And that's how fear and anxiety get stronger, is when you try to analyze, when you try to block it, when you try to stop it, you just gotta let the fearful thought pass right by you. You gotta let it go. Be like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why that came by. Okay, let it go. Move on to the next thing. And for those of you like, oh, it's too hard, like my brain just fixates on it. Here's what you do. As soon as you start feeling your brain fixate on that thing that you're afraid of, you need to focus on maybe opening a door, then focus on reading a book, maybe focus on shooting basketball, but focus intensely on exactly what you're doing and just focus only on that. This is a type of mindfulness meditation. It's a fancy word, but what it does is it forces your brain to be in the moment, because when you're worried about fears and anxiety, you're not in the moment. You're messing around with stuff that are shadows and things that could be and things that don't even exist. You're wasting your time. You're swiping and you're trying to grab something that doesn't exist, and it's only going to cause you to be tired and worn out. So the truth is when you feel those fears and you want to think about them and analyze it, just say, no, I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. Maybe it's studying. Do that. I hope this works for you. I hope this has been insanely helpful. If it has benefited you or can benefit someone you know, please share, please like this video, and please subscribe. Liking especially does a big bit for this channel. It really helps. Thank you so much. Have a great day.